Is it working? I have no idea. I don't think so. Somehow or another, I really don't think so. It says there's one person here. One person waiting. Okay. Cool. Thank you for letting me know. I tell you, oh, there it goes. Yay! It's actually working. It's actually live. So we are actually here. So we are actually going to do this. Now, as you can see, the title of this is... I'm going to go ahead and mute this. Or maybe I won't mute this. Yeah, we'll just turn that off. Okay. So, now there's 3 people watching. Cool. As the title says, we're going to be experimenting with servers. Live server experiments. So what are we going to do? Well, I have in mind something very simple. So we'll go over here to me, so you can actually see me, and we will show you this. Or I will show you this, and we'll see it. We'll come back to it in a second. This box that I've got in my hand right now is the basis of the project. This is an HP DX5150, and it used to be in the low-end radio studio doing the audio only until the hard drive in it quit. So I've got a plan. I've got this hard drive right here, which it probably won't focus on because I don't think the front camera actually focuses. It is facing the right way around though, so that's cool. So hopefully that does actually work. Hopefully the drive works, because I haven't fully tested it. I do know that it is capable, at least, of booting a machine, or trying to boot in a machine. So maybe we'll have a look at that in the quick future. Not so distant future, here live tonight. But in the meantime, I've decided I'm going to try something with this that I have not done before. And that is to experiment with OpenMediaVault. OpenMediaVault, hello. OpenMediaVault has, I've never used it. Most of my experience comes from NASLite and, what's the, Synology. They have names for them. They have a name for it. I don't really remember what it is. I wonder if I can look it up. Because I've got a computer sitting right out in front of me. I should be able to look this up. What is the name? Disk Station. Okay, well, I think that's the name of the hardware. I'm not entirely sure. I wonder, did this actually send... I don't think this sent out emails. But I can look. Because I have another computer over here that I can use to look. Somehow or another, I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like the answer to that's a big fat no. Which is okay, because it means that the majority of the morons that would come here aren't actually here. I've got another browser open right now, and it's in my way. That's all it is. So, anyway, doesn't matter. Synology Disk Station, whatever it's called, and all of that. That is what my primary experience is with. OpenMediaVault is not something that I have ever used. So what we're going to do is we are going to use it in this video. Okay, well, if that's the way you feel about it, then we'll solve that problem right quick. Done. The reason why I don't bother to do any of that stuff is because I'm busy trying to make a video here. Trying to do this. I know you exist, and that's perfectly okay. If you've got something that's urgent, then great. But if you don't, get out of here. I don't want to hear from you. So, anyway, right back to where I was. I'm going to, if I can find it here, this phone is in my way. I'm going to open up, if I can find VirtualBox. And we're going to experiment with it virtually first. because I don't want to waste my time trying to do this on hardware if it isn't going to do its job. And I don't have one that I can experiment with, do I? Well, I have this. I'm going to repurpose this virtual machine right here. So, test server 2, okay, we'll call it that. I'm going to give it... How much memory is in this box? Let me go over to it and see if I can figure that out. Because I want to have a similar hardware base to what's in the actual system itself. So we'll go ahead and I'll open it if I can. Okay, maybe I'm not allowed to do that. Here we go. And we'll lift that up. Well, all the memory slots are full. So what are they? 4 gigabytes. Holy crap. That's a lot of memory. So 4 gigs. Cool. So we'll give it 4 gigs if I can. I only got 8 gigs on this box. So shift back so you can see what I'm doing. 4 gigs. 4096. Well, I can. Cool. And that will deal with that. I wonder if this is not working. Top chat, live. I want the live chat, you piece of crap. So I can actually see what's going on. Anyway. So all of that, I'm not going to touch that. Why not 5? Well, I'm not doing 5 because the box back there has got 4. I'm trying to simulate a box. And SATA controller. We'll give it a new disk, again, to simulate what's going to be going in there. We'll just give it a name of test 500 gigabytes, because that's the size of the drive that I will be putting in to that machine. We'll put it somewhere over here, my virtual hard drive storage area. And we'll say 500. Create it. Cool. IDE controller. Well, it isn't going to matter where I put it. I'm going to make another one. And again, we'll put it in the same place. It's going to default to there for some reason. I don't know why. I wish it would remember where I'm putting these things. Test. What should we call it? I'll call it OMV for OpenMediaVault. And I'm going to be installing to... Let's see if I can grab it here. To one of these. I know how to use Photoshop. Good luck trying to use it for a stream. It doesn't really support that, I don't think. If you look on YouTube's help thing, they'll give you an idea as to what you can use. Right now, I'm just using a cell phone, because that was the easiest way that I found to do that. But anyway, this 16 gig disk is what we're going to use as our boot drive, if I can. So we'll say 16 gigabytes. And now those are there, which is good, all well and good and fine and happy. And in this, the disk, the CD, I don't want Windows 95. I am going to put in OpenMediaVault. 4.09 AMD 64. Now the next thing I'm going to check is make sure that this is actually set for 64-bit, which it's not. So we'll change that to 64. Doesn't show up as 64 for some reason. Huh. 64. Well, okay, whatever. We'll put that at 64. Everything else I'm going to leave alone because I never touch any of that. And now, we'll start it. Let's get started. Now, where's it going to go? Which monitor is it going to display on? Over here. So I have 2 monitors. So, OpenMediaVault. Select the install option. You get a verbose. Okay, so now we get, looks like an Anaconda install script. We are in, well, it won't matter. I'll change that on the actual thing if I really want to. Live chat. Who is here now? It doesn't tell me who's here. They gotta work on that. It says there's 4 people watching and there's only 2 people in the chat room, so I don't know what the deal is with that. Something's not working right. Oh, look at this. Slideshow. I'm moving stuff over to another NAS while I'm doing this. Yes, I would like to overwrite all of that. Ugh. Yes! Move. Host name won't matter. Domain name won't matter. Not for this quick little test. Root password. Normally I wouldn't show this kind of thing because it's not really a good thing to do, but because this is not open to anybody, I am going to give it a very simple password. Done. There. The best password in the world. Eastern. That's going to load stuff. More than one storage device is detected. Okay, I don't really care about that. That's perfectly okay by me. We're going to make sure we're going to install it to the right one. So I want the bottom one, which is, you can't really see. I don't think I can zoom on this. And I'm not even going to try. 17.2 gigabyte, which is our 16 gig disk, which is what we want to install to. Right away I've got a concern. I don't know if this is going to work over USB. I hope it does. It looks like it's just flat out installing. So, cool. Nice. So while that's working, we'll have more discussion about things that are going on. Or I will have more discussion about things that are going on. Let's see. I've got another NAS project in mind. So I have 2 running right now. I'll have 4 by the end of all of this. So this one that I'm working on right now is going to be, what is it going to be? I think I'm going to just use it for backups. I mean, it's OpenMediaVault, so theoretically you should probably be using it for media, but, you know, things like movies or music or whatever, but I'm going to just use it for backups because I want the storage. Storage is something that I want. I want a lot of. At 500 gigs, I mean, I don't want to waste that 500 gigs on something. So, I got a lot of media drives already, so I'd rather use the 500 gigs for backups. That's my primary purpose. There's another one that I'm going to be working on, NAS 4. You can tell I'm really good with naming these things. NAS 4, which is going to be used for my website storage, and it's going to be a rather small NAS. I've got the pieces for it right here, but let's switch this camera. Oh boy, that's not good. What happened? An error occurred. Not enough free memory. Okay, unable to allocate and lock memory. Yeah, that's probably an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out this web browser here. Well, we can solve that problem. Alright. So now that's gone, so, okay. We'll unpause it. And hopefully it will still work. Yeah, I've got about 0 patience for people who like to fill up my thing here with garbage, so. If you want to talk smack in a chat room, you can go somewhere else. So where was I going with that? Oh yeah, this right here. It's, you won't be able to see that. It's a 540 gigabyte little drive. It's going to be a really limited amount of storage. Configure package manager. Go for US. Or don't go for US. Because I got to get over here to this. FTP, well, that looks good enough to me. I don't need a proxy. So now it's installing stuff. It's only 8 o'clock. Usually I don't start this until 9, but I want the extra time so I can actually get these experiments in. And I could do all of this. You know what? I forgot to do one key thing. And that was to investigate the network. Because the network address translation that it defaults to, the NAT, isn't going to work. And furthermore, I don't think DHCP, if I put it onto my wired network, because I have a wired network in here, it's right there, that wired network is probably not going to work either. But I think I'll wait until this is installed. So, let's see. I've posted it, nobody's here. That's alright. Means I'll just have to watch it later. Last week's was so much more productive. Enjoyed my crushed grape, which you can actually buy in cans now. It's amazing. You know, they had vanilla Coke for a while, which was great, and then they got rid of that, and now they got crushed grape in cans. It's the only one that they haven't previously. Finishing the installation, that wasn't too bad. So the only thing I gotta hope is that USB disks will actually work with this. If it won't, then we won't be using OpenMediaVault. Instead, we're going to be using NAS for free. But I want to try this first so that I can get a feel for how it works before I put it on the actual hardware and screw up the actual hardware. The installation took less time than the finishing steps. So right now what you're actually getting is something of an idea as to what goes into a computer video. A lot of it I just edit out because it's either silence or it's garbage because I don't know what I'm talking about. Initializing database. What would I need a database for? Installation is complete. Well, it's removed the disk for me. So, okay, we'll click continue and it should restart itself. We'll get some of this other junk out of the way. Is it going to work? That is the question. It's contacting my network. Here we go. Rebooting. Are you kidding me? Does boot order matter? Something tells me. Okay, so we'll get out of it. Power it off. And I don't know why it's doing that. I'll have to change these SATA ports around. Set that to port 4. Set this to port 0. And set this to port 1. And, okay. So now what? This is going well. This is about what usually happens when I try to experiment with things, is it doesn't work. There it goes. So apparently the order of the serial ATA drives in VirtualBox matters. Who'd have thunk it? No arrays found. It's spamming my output with no arrays found. Well, I don't care. Skip it. I wonder if there's a bug in this software. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. So OpenMediaVault looks like it's a non-starter. Wow. That's bad. I've wasted 20 minutes. See, this is what happens when you do this. I'm glad I didn't do it on the hardware because I'd be tempted to smack the hardware right now. So what are we going to do about this? Well, I think I'm going to just jump straight into the hardware configuration stuff. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, you're going to watch me do, is I'm going to get out the tripod, the big tripod, the good tripod, and I'll set that up. Okay, before I do that, I'm going to outstretch the legs on the tripod. You know, last week it was so great because there were actually people here that I could talk to, as opposed to people who want to fill up my chat room with crap that I have to ban because I don't want to listen to it. There's nobody here, so hard to talk to people when there ain't nobody here. So, yeah. Alright. I don't know. I don't know if this is even worth my time to do. So, we'll see. Should probably turn off that virtual machine while I'm here. But what I'm going to do next... Now I'll extend the tripod. Maybe put this up, or maybe we won't because it's not behaving. Now, at least the tripod was cheap, so if it is actually broken, I won't feel too badly. I didn't buy it brand new. Because I'm sure it would have been frightfully expensive brand new. Whoops, that was a little too far. Because it's an all-metal tripod, except for very few parts. Most of it's metal, which is amazing. Usually, when you buy tripods, they're cheap plastic. So, okay. We'll get rid of that. I think it's plugged in. I think I should keep it plugged in. Might be a plan. So we'll unplug it from there. I'll unplug it from there. I'm talking about the device I'm doing this with. And we will go to the tripod and put this on the tripod somehow. Orientation is locked. Cool. Well, I don't care about that. I want to get this thing on the tripod. This real pain tripod because it doesn't have a quick release mount. I wish it did. That would make my life easy. So, there. Now, it should be very easy for me to just go like this. Ooh, my battery charged. So that means I can actually unplug this. I'll talk about that in a second. And I can find an iPhone charger. Where did I put the... Oh, it's still plugged in. And we, or I, more accurately, will go ahead and we'll plug it in. Or not. There we go. Plug it in. I was hoping that OpenMediaVault was going to work because I want to experiment with it. It's something new. And I always like experimenting with new things. Anyway, this should have a hard drive in it right now. And it does. It's still got the 80 gigabyte drive that was in it that failed. So we'll pull that out. Before I pull it out, I'm going to pull this off so I can access it a little bit better. I'll pull out the SATA cable, if I can. I'm probably getting a good shot of my face right about now, or just my elbow, which I apologize for. This is usually this is the kind of stuff that I would edit out of a video. Pull that out. I'm going to need the screws that are attached to it. So now I got to find my screwdriver set, which is right here. And we'll get our Torx bit. I keep saying we. The only we here is me. There's the Torx bit. And you can take the screws out very easily. Unfortunately, it's not a magnetic screwdriver, so I have to be careful not to send these screws flying into Kingdom Come. I have extras, but it would not be a very good idea to let them fly off into Kingdom Come. Well, you could probably see it just fine. I can't tell because this isn't a camcorder where I can flip out the view screen and have a look. Although, having said that, most of my camcorders don't have a view screen. So, don't get that benefit with those either. But I do get the benefit of having a better image sensor. So there's that drive. I'll have to do something with it. Erase it. That's probably what will happen. See, I now have somebody else watching this. Let's see who that is. If it'll let me. Well, it says 1 over here. So, maybe they left. Yeah, I guess they left. Oh, well. Screw you, too. Okay, so here's our 500 gig drive. We'll put these screws into it. Hopefully without cross-threading them. Or again, sending them into Kingdom Come. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go post the link to this in other places so that there's more of an opportunity for people to see it while it's actually live, because that's more interesting. Who wants to sit and watch a 2-hour video of just a guy talking into a camera? Not doing anything really useful. You know, I was expecting that OpenMediaVault was actually going to work. I was hoping that OpenMediaVault was actually going to work. So then I'd have something to play around with, you know, some pretty graphical user interface or graphical web thing that I could play around with, but I guess it's not going to work, so. Oh well. Such is the way that things go. So that's all screwed in now. And I didn't cut my finger open, did I? No. Almost feels like I did. So now, put that in place. And because I'm curious, the machine that this drive came out of is similar but not quite the same as the hardware configuration of this box. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and boot what's on this drive now. On this drive. I'm going to have to find... Oh, I'm probably going to have to burn a disk. Which I think is a CD. So I could probably get away with using a CD. Yeah, I could probably get away with using a CD. So that's in place. Now, what I gotta do next... Oh, I forgot you had to pull that off. Oops. Oh well. Now it's there. I just noticed something else. Check this out. Oh. No zoom. Do I have zoom? Let's see. Oh, I do. Sweet. Best tech power supply. Oh, noes. Get it away. Eek! Oh, but I don't have a choice. It's one of those semi-proprietary... I think it's actually a TFX power supply. That's what they call that. It's TFX. So I'm assuming blithely that this is all going to work. And I'm going to put the screw back into the back of the case. And the next thing I'm going to do is go over here to this box, fire it up. And I'm going to have to go get a CD. So, what am I going to do or let you look at in the meantime while I go get a CD? So I've already burned OpenMediaVault to a CD. You know what? I'll boot that anyway. But I am going to try OpenMediaVault on the physical hardware. Because what's the worst that could happen? Well, it couldn't work. That's always the worst that could happen. So we'll get a monitor. This monitor sounds as good as any other. If all this stuff would be out of the way, this would be easier. So here's a monitor. This is the, what is this? This is the Samsung SyncMaster 151S. You can't see it. Let me switch the camera. So maybe you will stand a chance of seeing it. Here it is. I'm trying to untangle the cables it's got right now. Not that it'll really make a difference. So, VGA, the one true video connector. The only video connector that matters. I have a lot of people who get on my case when I make statements like that. Oh, don't you know HDMI exists? Oh, don't you know that DVI exists? Well, yes, I do. But if you look at computers that have existed for pretty much almost the entirety of the existence of computers, at least personal computers, after we had the 9-pin D-shell connections, VGA. That same connector, even though the standard has evolved, still exists and has existed. So everything I have is VGA. I don't have anything that's DVI. Well, I do. I have a another Samsung monitor over there that's got a DVI input, but I don't have a cable. And I'm certainly not in a rush to go and get a cable. So I got that. We'll put the monitor on it. I probably could have gotten away without untangling that much of the cord, but oh well. Too late. I've already done it. So, I will find the video input, which is right there. I will go over to my Evo cable mess underneath the studio, and I will unplug things until I can plug in the monitor. Of course, now these tripods that I'm using are getting in my way, which is one of the reasons why I don't like tripods. Didn't turn anything off. Okay, good. Plug in our monitor. This monitor should come on. And it does. Which is good, because it is supposed to. I don't need a mouse. So I got a keyboard. And yes, it's PS2. And yes, I know that newer standards than PS2 exist. And no, I don't particularly care. So, we will... Well, I'm going to take the plug for the computer itself. And I'm going to plug it into the back of the machine so I don't have to come back here again after I plug in the keyboard. Well, I will. I'll have to plug in the USB drive. I plugged in all the cables for the hard drive. I've done that a lot lately, where I've forgotten to plug in the power for the hard drive. Plug in the data connector and don't plug in the power. Yeah, that's great. Or the other way around. It's not going to work if you don't have both. Okay, so we'll push this back so I actually have space for my keyboard. Take our keyboard and we'll plug it in. This is what goes into I think I mentioned it. This is what goes into a computer video. A typical computer video, at least. This is the pre-setup. You're getting to see the pre-setup and all of the steps. Unedited, uncut, uncensored. So if I start swearing, well... then if you're a kid, you should probably go away, but otherwise, that's what goes into it. I hope I'm plugging it into the right port. Keyboard port, because it's got two, obviously. Keyboard and mouse. And maybe I should plug in the Ethernet. Yeah, well, no, actually what I was going to do first, and I will need a mouse for that, is I was going to see what was on that hard drive. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we'll get out a mouse. Again, typical mouse that I usually use in all the videos. And it's PS2. The one true peripheral connection, because at least most people can't screw that up. Well, the Linux folks certainly have managed to do it time and time again. Plug that in. And plug the computer in. It'll probably turn on immediately. And I just noticed that my phone unplugged itself. No, you don't. You will stay plugged in and you will like it. Always be forceful with things. So we'll make sure that doesn't come unplugged again. By using the tripod to do it for me. Isn't that nice? The one good thing tripods are good for. The only thing that tripods are good for. Comes on. I think the CMOS battery's dead in it, though. So maybe that's why it comes on. I have no display. Oh, here it comes. Yeah, I forgot this thing takes forever to post. And it's half off the display. How lovely is that? Does it actually start? Will it actually start? It's Windows 8 or 10. I don't think so. It shouldn't be taking this long. I don't think this hardware is similar enough. It's going to do anything? I wonder. It's just sitting there. So, somehow or another, I don't think so. Okay. Ah, it's saying that 0 people are watching. So what? And what am I, a chopped liver? I guess I am. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't think this is going to do anything. This is a waste of time. So, turn it off. Turn it back on. And I'll see if the optical drive doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. And we'll see. As it takes forever to complete the power on self-test. I don't know why it's half off the screen. I did hit auto adjust. F8. Just spam the F8 key. Oh, it's performing automatic repair. Is that going to work? Yeah, I don't think so. Usually doesn't. Yeah, if it can't even start at all, it's probably not going to work now. Just to point that out. Alright, so this is a waste of time. I'm going to go ahead. Onto this CD, I burned OpenMediaVault. You wouldn't be able to know it. Yeah, it's burned on there. Inject. We'll have to restart the box again. I do hope the hard drive is actually good. Because I'm not going to check it. Maybe I should. Where's my Ultimate Boot CD? Maybe I should actually check the drive before I assume that everything is all peachy cream and it's off the screen again. Is it going to boot to the optical drive? I hope so. No, it's going to boot to the hard drive. Oh boy. So maybe my CD is not any good. Or maybe my ISO is corrupted. Both of those are possible. So I'm going to have to burn another disc. And it's going to have to be a CD because that does not have anything but a CD-ROM in it. CD-RW. It's a rewritable drive. Where's my Ultimate Boot CD? You know, I always despise it when these things just disappear without any... There it is. It's underneath all this mess. I had an avalanche of crap take place. So, okay. While it's on, I'm going to check the hard drive status. Oh, I forget to put the disk in. Brilliant, fool. Brilliant. Alright. So, again, I've got to turn it off. I turn it back on, and this time I'm going to bring up a boot menu because apparently I forget what the key is. Not good. I think it's F9. Yes. F9 for boot menu. And now, what I should be able to do, now that it's here, is auto-adjust it. I think that made it worse. Who'da thunk it? It's not seeing the CD-ROM. That's a problem. That would certainly explain why it's not working. And I think it's because I forgot to plug it back in. How genius. Alright, so now what am I going to do? I've got all this junk here that I've got to move in order for me to open it. You see what happens when you do things live? You forget things and you can't even cover your butt by editing it out. So, you're getting to see all of the screw-ups that I do, that I make, live. Alright. I don't know why this case has somehow become so difficult to unplug. Yep, I forgot to unplug the case. I plugged the E drive back in. So there. Now it's plugged in. I can put the case cover back on. Because I'm sure I'm going to have to do something else, I'm going to leave the screw off. There we go. So that's in place. You didn't really get to see too much of it. I apologize, but that's just the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. Fire it back up. And this is a different BIOS than most of the HP machines that I'm used to working with. Because most of them have got some custom deal going on. Auto adjust. It's probably not going to keep that auto adjustment. Alright, optical drive. Boot to the optical drive, which will give me Ultimate Boot CD. Again, half off the screen. Makes you wonder how it figures all this stuff out, because it's wrong. Practically 100% of the time. Hard drive, diagnosis, HDAT2, which is a rather old version, but it's not going to make a difference for us. Or for me, and again, it's off the screen. I don't get it either. HDAT2. There's the hard drive. All right. Disabled or not present. Okay. So it's only got one channel on it. Selected devices hung reset required. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Oh, we got a smart error. That's not good. Error and disabled. That's nice. So what's the issue? Yeah, there's no pending reallocation, so it should be okay. I don't really care. As like I said, it's only going to be used for backups anyways, so big deal. It's got bad sectors. Of course, that's when I'm going to need it, is when I find that I've put something on a place on the disk that's got bad sectors. But I'm willing to take that risk. So we'll eject the disk. We'll try OpenMediaVault again. And before I do that, I'm going to find my USB stick. There it is. And we'll go ahead and plug in the USB stick at the back of the machine, where it will be plugged in production use. 3-finger salute, which will restart the machine in the slowest manner possible. And it's half off the screen again. Yeah. You get a beep out of it. Wish it would censor itself. OpenMediaVault install. Auto adjust. Okay. Well, it was faster from on the USB than it is here. Okay. Here's our installer. This is exactly as it was before. I'm going to get a little bit of zoom on this so you have a little bit of a better chance of actually seeing what I'm doing. English. I'll set it to Canada, so that's where I am. American English is fine. That looks really blue on the camera. Okay. I wonder where everybody's going off to. Somebody do something that I'm not aware of? Probably. So, that's why nobody's here. What's next? Network hardware. Oh, I forgot to plug the Ethernet in. Crap. That sucks. It's not going to get one. It's not going to get an address. Okay. Oops. Probably should have plugged in the cable because it's going to complain at me now. Network authentication failed. Auto configuration failed. So we'll hit continue. I'll plug in the Ethernet. You'll get to see my ugly face again, which people love to complain about all the time. Yes, trolls. They're everywhere tonight. Actually, they were here the first time I tried doing this, and I just stopped it, restarted it later, and they disappeared. But, oh well, whatever. They can suck it for all I care. And yes, I just said that live. So you are all going to... I hope that worked. I can look. Yes. And it's got a gigabit network connection. Cool. Okay. Retry autoconfig. It's not in focus. Why is it not in focus? What camcorder was it? I don't remember which one it was. But I've got a VHS-C camera that loves to take the focus and go in and out and in and out and in and out. I'm sure somebody's going to make a joke about that. Well, there we go. That actually did work. Host name. Still not in focus. As to where the hell people are, I don't know. I couldn't profess to tell you. I know that a certain somebody is making a pizza, so that's probably what they're doing right about now. This is NAS3, so that's what we'll call it. Although we'll do it in all capitals, because why not? NAS3 local. Root password. Okay, I'm going to actually have to set this to something. So, well, you know what? I'll do it later. And probably forget. So we'll just set it to something trivial. While it's on video. Configure the clock. We're in the Eastern time zone. Something completely trivial. But of course, this isn't going to be on the web anyway, so you won't get to access it. Ensure you select the correct device. Okay, let's select the correct device. I want 16 gigabyte USB flash drive, so this is actually going to work. Now, whether or not it actually manages to boot is a completely different question. Partitions 2.5. Ignore it. Really? You suck. Yes, write the changes to the disk. You can't write to a USB drive. What is wrong with you? Can't write to a USB drive. Well, I've got a solution to that problem. The solution to this problem is going to be to screw it and go on to NAS for free, which I didn't want to do. I don't have a USB disk handy that I can use to make a disk, and I don't have a disk handy either. So I'm going to have to go get a disk, which means that there's going to be a little bit of time where I'm not here. So what am I going to do? I wonder if this magic button does anything. Oh, it does. Look at this. I can actually make it do things. So there's my screensaver. You can go ahead and watch all that crap while I'm busy trying to do this. Or maybe not. Is there any better ones here? Dance Party? 8mm? That doesn't look like 8mm at all. I've got 8mm cameras. And of course, yes, I know it's not the same 8mm. And I'll just leave it alone. So hopefully you folks, or people won't get here while I'm trying to do this. So, stay tuned. I'll have to go get a disc. Quick, huh? Yeah. Okay. So I now have a disk that I can use to burn NAS software. But I gotta burn it. So I gotta go over here. Actually, before I do that, you're gonna have a look at that thing, which I will describe. That is another camcorder. I figure that the people that would actually watch this live probably know exactly what it is. But if you're watching this after the fact, you might not. That is a Sharp. What's the model? Sharp. Well, I could take it out of the bag and have a look at it and figure out what the model is. Yeah, have a look at this thing. It is a Sharp. Oh no, I'm going to be here for a while. I started it early because I thought this was going to take longer than it did. ViewCam VLE36 Video 8 camcorder. Looks like a still camera, but it's not. It's actually really cool because this part goes on the tripod. So instead of having to move the tripod head, you could just move this. Cool, eh? And it actually does work. Though the image sensor is a piece of crap and doesn't see light very well. But that's okay. It does work otherwise, and the audio is surprisingly good for that because the microphone is right where the tape basket is. And usually that's just a recipe for a whole lot of noise. Tape motor noise, especially mini DV cameras. I've always wondered why mini DV cameras all make so much noise. So you know what's a problem now? Do not be fooled or ripped off by websites selling this program. It's freeware! Yeah, it's image burn. I love their little quotes of the day. Alright, so I'm going over here now on this other box, which you can't see, because I'm not taking that camera off of that tripod. It's a pain in the rear end. Get rid of this virtual machine failure over here, and I will see if I have, because I should, somewhere around here, I should have a NAS for free ISO image. It's not current, but I should still have it. Is it actually in there, or is it in NAS for free firm? No, it's not there. Okay. So it will be an ISO. NAS for free. Oh, we got part files. I don't like the looks of that. NAS for free 11. Yeah, that's really old. October 1st of 2017. Okay, well, it's not that old, but it's still pretty old. So we'll copy that over to this box over here. Or it'll ignore me. That's always nice. Thanks, Windows, for ignoring me completely. I'm trying to do a video here. Actually, I'm trying to do something live, so it's even worse. People are wasting their time watching me do this, and I'm screwing it all up because the computer's screwing it all up. This should be really easy, you know? This should just work off of USB, but apparently I can't install the USB. So, OpenMediaVault gets a big from me. That's what I think of that. Maybe at some point later on, if I am feeling daring enough, I'll get some better hardware to try it on. I don't know, maybe it is the fact that it's USB that's screwing around with it. But for those of you who are just tuning in now, I tried it in a virtual machine, and it didn't work there either. It installed. It installed great. But then it complained about the fact that, well, it didn't boot. We'll just say that. Dropped me to a root shell because apparently it's too difficult to ask to have something, you know, boot to the disk that I installed it to. I don't know. Anyway, perhaps there is something wrong with that disk. I'll have to re-download it at a later time and see if that is what the problem was. I know this NAS for a free disk works, though. Has it moved over completely? Looks like it. It's now 9 o'clock. I've got an hour to do this before Christmaster 1 goes live. Okay, normally I don't burn at high speed, but I'm going to do it because right now I don't have time and I don't have patience. And that's that. I wish this thing would tell me who all is here. You know, I've got the live chat up. It tells me there's 3 participants, or 4 people watching. Every once in a while it jumps up to 5. But there's only 2 people in the chat room. What the hell? It's not even accurate. That's burning. That's the best thing you can ever watch right there, is me burning a disc live. Somebody made the suggestion that I should play fart noises live. Just do an hour of fart noises. Yeah, I don't think so. That's not really entertaining, and it would probably get picked up by Content ID when you consider all of the random stuff that is picked up by Content ID these days. This optical drive is not very efficient, because I set to burn it at 48 times speed, and it's only burning at like 14. I don't know, I think it should be at least 30. Maybe the disc is the problem. Probably is, it's cheap media. Okay, so we'll get this. Or maybe we won't. Well, yeah, this is one of those typical Linux distributions that won't let you eject the disk while it's on. Well, I've got a solution to that problem. I will get my disk back. Just you watch. Where is it on this drive? Right there. Oh, it's locked. Oh, here we go. Just like that. Take that. Now, does it know that I've ejected the drive? Here we go. Can you hear that? That's funny. I wonder what Linux thinks of that. Let's find out while that disk is burning and wasting my time over here. Starting up the partitioner. Let's not. Oh, it's stuck in an infinite loop. Wow. Linux, folks. Gotta love it. At the very least, they should at least provide a cancel option. Although maybe that's what the no is supposed to be. And it's not working. It doesn't work. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to which means that this disk is a coaster now, if that isn't going to actually work. Who knows? Maybe I'll get some other hardware and try it on. I have another NAS that I'm going to be building eventually. Maybe I'll try it on that. See if it runs on that hardware. Who knows? Because I'll be putting a hard drive in that one as a boot disk. Because it's got the space. This doesn't. This only has 1 drive bay in it. So now we're in the verify stage over here. How long is this going to take? Listen to that. Sounds like a fire siren. If you can even hear it. You probably can't even hear it. I don't think the microphone on this is sensitive enough to pick that up. "21 times. And yet, again, it's supposed to be reading at 48. Makes you wonder who designs these things. 5 watching. Who's here? Does it tell me? Well, it does. Hello, Wilkes85. Welcome to the shit show that is installing Linux on a computer. And my chat room disappeared. What the hell? Okay, you suck. There it goes. See, it would be very nice if, on this phone, I could go in and actually type something. That would be cool. That would be the ultimate goal. But I can't, because it doesn't have the ability for me to type into a chat room. How stupid's that? Yeah, it started an hour ago. Normally it won't, but I wanted the time to actually get this going. As it turns out, I didn't really need it, because Dr. Failure over here decided, nope, I ain't gonna have any of this. Okay, well, that's burned. Cool. I'm sure that gave somebody, what's the word? Vertigo. Vertigo is the word. Give me my disk. So, that's burned. Makes you wonder why they call it burning a CD. Because, I mean, it's not on fire. You're not making it catch fire or anything. Oh, I see how it's going to be. Where's my eject tool? I've just used it. So if this is the game that the computer is going to play, then this is the game that the computer is going to lose. We'll just do that. There. Now, turn the box off. I'm going to forcefully turn the box off, because I have to. Turn it back on. Hope I didn't wreck my drive with that emergency eject tactic. Okay. I wish this monitor would make it so that it's not, like, halfway off the freaking screen. Usually it's faster than that. Maybe this optical drive is slow. Yeah, I think the optical drive is probably slow. Drives me nuts. The suspense is killing me. For all I know, this hardware could have issues with booting to USB. Open Solaris, really? It needs Open Solaris? You have any idea how old that is? Open Solaris, I don't even know. Is Open Solaris even currently supported? I don't think so. I know there are projects that are supposed to, there are a couple branches off of Open Solaris. I think Open Indiana is one of them. That might still be supported. But it's not a current concern. Nobody uses Solaris anymore. Boot in normal mode. That's a lot faster. Giant locked. Not detecting USB devices. SCSI over bulk only. Okay, I love that, how Linux identifies USB devices as being SCSI. That's not quite true. Well, maybe it is. I'd have to investigate. But I don't think it is. I think it's more PCI than it is anything else, or that kind of a bus, PCI Express or whatever. It uses up a PCI Express lane for your USB. I'd have to look into it. And that's just getting into the technical mumbo-jumbo that I'm sure no one cares about. Using device to store configuration. Okay. Is it going to get any further than that? It's not reading the floppy drive. That's a great sign. Oh, here we go. Link state changed to down. Here we go. It actually... Did it get an ad? I don't think it got an address. No, it did not get an address, because that's not valid for this network. So, we are going to install or upgrade. So, we want selection number 9. Install Embedded OS on Yeah, we'll use the preferred option. Install embedded GPT. Do I really need GPT? I don't think I need GPT, but I'm gonna try it anyway. So, okay. This will erase all partitions. Cool. Select the source. Select the destination. Lexar. Max, enter the size of the swap partition. Is it gonna matter? It's a 16 gigabyte drive. Yeah, we'll give it that. See if it actually works. Well, that's more promising than OpenMediaVault was. It just flat out didn't work. I should have put it on in one of the front ports, so that way I would actually be able to see what it's doing. Or you'd be able to see what it's doing, because it wouldn't be stuck on a tripod. Wish I had something interesting to say while this is going on. There we go. So anyway, like I was saying, this, which I paid probably a little bit too much money for, is, oh, it works, but the image sensor is a piece of crap. It doesn't really sense images. It doesn't sense light very well. It's got a real problem with that. Maybe I should have put a better optical drive in this machine, because this is slow. Okay, now it's installing. How long is that going to take? 20 seconds. That's it? Not going to take very long. Probably should have got a drink before I even started. I mean, I have one. But it's pretty much empty. I don't have another one up here. Score on the first try. Okay. I'm certainly stuck at 99.9 for a while. Oh, the joys of installing live. This is what happens during a computer video, except I edit most of it out. So instead of getting, you know, a 2-hour-long video about that, okay, all of that is okay. You can now safely remove and reboot, use the data. I'm not going to do that, though I might. So just ejected the disk. Enter to continue, exit, reboot. Yes, I want to reboot. And there we go. Five-minute uptime, yeah. Now it's going to take forever to reboot. I don't know why the BIOS on this thing takes this long to post. Leave it to HP to do something like that. You know, I keep forgetting that I need to check for an updated BIOS. Oh, it's gonna boot to the internal. I don't want to boot to the onboard hard drive. Probably should have erased the boot sector off of that while I was at it. So I gotta go into setup, and I gotta change the boot order, if I even can. Because I bet my luck is that I won't be able to do that. Love that floppy drive seek. Award Workstation BIOS. Yeah, it's a piece of crap. The option's not in there. Okay, that's all fine. Do we have the first boot device is removable? Is it now? Or is that floppy drive? That's probably floppy drive. So it looks like it does not support booting to a USB stick. Great! Well, I have a solution to that problem, but it is going to involve my having to go burn another disk. Or maybe it doesn't. You know what? I'm going to check this pile of CDs here and see if I've got it already burned to a disk. But I'm going to need a boot manager in order to do that. So it's not going to be able to be auto-restartable, but that's fine. Or I might have to... No, that's blank. I wonder what's on that. If it's totally blank, then I could certainly use it. There it is. Boot manager. Now, does it work? That is the question. Let's find out. Control-Alt-Delete. The three-finger salute. Maybe if I upgraded the BIOS on this thing, it would actually support USB booting, but who knows? USB. And it crashes. Yup, awesome. So, what are we going to do about that? Oh, computers, I hate them. I hate them very much. Well, I know what we're going to do about it. Oh, I don't know which one's which now. So screw the USB, since evidently that isn't going to work. We'll just install it to the... Oops, we'll install it to the hard drive. Alright, give me that USB stick. Unplug the Ethernet too. Oops. Control-Alt-Delete. Or it'll ignore me because it's crashed. Try again. Real pain. Boot to CD. Now it's going to take forever to do this again. Now I'll just install it to the hard drive. It's a 500 gig drive anyway. And I'll have to look and see what it actually installs. I think it's like maybe 10 gigs for the... I think it was 10 gigs for the partition to install to. I set up a 3 gigabyte swap partitions. That's 13 gigabytes. And the rest is data. So, that's not bad. You know, for a 500 gig drive, that's more than enough for me. Hello, test. Yeah. I should have figured that this was going to happen. Nothing booting to USB ever works. I don't understand that. You know, USB's been around. I mean, I hate USB, don't get me wrong, but this is the reason why I hate USBs, because it's been around for so long, and they still can't get it right. This machine's not all that old. Boot it normally. at my blood pressure rising already. This is like watching paint dry. So you see, what you're watching right now on your screen is pretty much a typical computer video for me. 90% of it gets edited out, because 90% of it's not worth watching. It's just me talking about how slow the computer is. Or not talking at all, just pure silence. The stuff I don't edit out, I'll usually time-lapse. Because people don't want to watch that. I mean, I can't imagine that any soul is going to watch this crap once I'm done, once it's not live anymore. Well, yeah, Google supports that, but they don't support it for everything. So, I know Google Drive, I think it was Google Drive, I know there was one Google service where if you try to have everything, connected, it'll tell you sign out of all of them and sign in with the account you want to use. And how useless is that? Completely worthless. Here we go. Okay. Install to hard drive. That's what I want. Install embedded OS. Yes. GPT is fine. I really don't care. So, boot code. Really? It's only 1 GB for the OS? Huh. Oh, I guess it's embedded, so yeah, that makes sense. Swap and UFS for data. I'll probably have to change the data partition later, but for now, what I'm going to do, yes, choose the source, choose the destination. That's good enough for me. And now it is going to create all the partitions, creating the file systems. Much faster than USB. So, take from that what you may. Where did I put that USB drive anyway? I don't know. Oh well, whatever, doesn't matter. With any luck, it'll actually boot. If it doesn't, I don't think I'm going to waste any more time. I'll just go do something else. There's a lot of things I could certainly do. And maybe go get myself a drink. Oh, look at that. Check out that awesome typo. Format head. Really now. Wonder if they even know that typo exists. Maybe somebody should tell them. Okay. All of that should be okay. Should have that. Enter to continue. Exit. Reboot. Yes, I really do want to reboot. Eject the CD, because it puts everything in memory anyway. So now, here comes the moment of truth. If it actually does reboot, does it work? That's what you always got to ask yourself. You do something, does it work? 90% of the time, you'll find it doesn't, which really sucks. Because, you spend all this time doing stuff, and you find out you've wasted it. I have a video coming up, actually, where just that happened. I had one of those HP Vectras out, and I was trying to install operating systems. Yeah, that didn't go so well. So, what is that, like a 50-minute long video that I recorded over the span of a week? Yeah, that should tell you something. You know what I wish? YouTube dark mode, if they would have it where you could have it across the whole website. I mean, I don't know if it's like that now, but when... What's the right word? When I went, when I used it recently, you go to your creator thing, whatever they're calling it this particular minute, and that didn't work. Okay, configure network interfaces. It is plugged in, right? Yes. So it is on the net. Is it on the network? Yeah, it's on the network. So, configure network interfaces. Yes. Initializing interface. It's still not got the right IP address, though. Do I want to use DH? Well, we'll try using DHCP. No IPv6. We'll see. Somehow or another, I don't think that is going to work. Because I know DHCP doesn't work on my network for some boxes, but it does work for others. And then the two of them can't mix together. Does that make any sense to you? No, it really doesn't. But that's how it is. You know, you reboot a box and it'll get an address just fine. You reboot it again, and then it doesn't work. Okay, well, it did get an address. But I don't want that address. It's a huge address. I'm not going to remember that. But what we can do now is... Oh, shit. Where's that tripod? There it is. I'm going to take this off of this tripod, because that box should now have that address. Put this piece of junk tripod on it. Somehow. Trying to do this without making it so that I give everybody vertigo is actually rather difficult. Changing tripods in the middle of a video. Fun times. Okay, so that should be working now. And the other, yeah, there's holes in the wall. So I'm going to pull this off of the tripod so I can then, again, hopefully without giving everybody vertigo, come over here, or maybe not. And it's not going to stretch far enough. So I'll come over here, you'll get a nice look at my desktop, of which there's nothing there that's worth looking at. Unplug that. I could plug it back into the computer. I'm not going to. Okay, so we'll get that out of the way. And I will make a new browser window, because I'm not opening up the other browser. And there's a new browser window. We'll zoom out so you actually stand a chance of seeing what I'm doing. Let's see. What if I put it on top of this? Would you see anything any better? Or will it just fall over? Guess we'll find out. What's that address that it was at again? 37 219. And here we go. So I forget the defaults. That's not the defaults. Ah, man, crap. What are the defaults? Well, I can go back over to the box, and I can default it. Reset web GUI password. Alright, here we go. So now I know what the defaults are. Admin. NS for free. And we're in. Woo! Now, the big question. This is Vivaldi. About. Oh, it opens up. Oh, screw you. I hate web designers that do that. This is, as you can see, Vivaldi. A browser for our friends. I thought that said out friends for a second. Okay. Yeah, Vivaldi. It's basically a Chrome browser, but not quite Google Chrome. I mean, it's not Google. That's the only reason why I use it, is because I despise Google. And I wish they'd go out of business yesterday. And I'm streaming with their products, so look at that. It's probably, now the stream's gonna die. So, yeah, that probably wasn't the smartest thing to say, but oh well, look how much I care. So, the temperature probe actually works. It doesn't look like the CPU stuff does. I mean, at least it's not showing 350 megahertz here, which it was on the other NAS, NAS 1, which is also running NAS for free. So what was I going to do? I don't remember what I was going to actually do with this. Well, first things first, I'm going to change the passwords. Although maybe I'll do that off video, because again, changing passwords while it's on video, probably not the best idea. You know, if you all get my passwords, well, it's not going to matter. This isn't live or anything like that. And I use a different password for everything, so this isn't live. But what I meant was this isn't available on the internet. The box. So you can't get into the box. So, message of the day. Welcome to NAS for free. Let's call it, this is my backup NAS. If it is needed, the ship is sinking. There we go. There's a nice message of the day, don't you think? Go ahead and save it. Is it going to want me to reboot? No. Advanced options. Oh, I was in advanced options. General options. We'll change all of that. I can't see with this stupid phone in my way. Everything should be okay. Time zone UTC, really? I want America. America, Toronto. That's the one I want. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. There's now 6 people watching. Why are 6 people wasting their time with this crap? Did it save? I think it saved. 21. Yeah, the time's right. We'll go ahead and put NTP on. I usually do that. Hostname, NAS3. The IPv4 addresses shouldn't have to change. None of that should have to change. This will probably want me to reboot the box. Yeah, I don't know about that. You know, it says that there are 5 people watching, or it says that there are, you know, X number of people watching, but yet there's nobody in the chat room. So I wonder if that actually means that there are people here, or what. It just doesn't work. So I think what I'm going to do right off the bat is go to firmware update. I'm going to upgrade the operating system. Enable firmware update. So we'll upgrade. Well, now you can see some other videos that are going to be uploaded somewhere. And where are we going? Ask for free firmware. The most recent one I got is 5065. Well, it's still newer than what I'm running. It's 4619. That's old school. Upgrade the firmware. Alright, so now, if I take this thing, and I show you the box, no, I don't want to do that. It's probably not going to display it now that that's been there. It will reboot automatically. There we go. So now it's upgrading the firmware. Skip the backups. That's not a good sign. Firmware installed successfully. Now it's going down. It'll probably get a different DHCP address too, which is why I like to nail these things down, which I think is what I'm going to do while I'm here. So you can see all this mess over here. This is actually going to be going into the other NAS box, which, if you excuse the disastrous mess, is right here. Let me turn on the stupid light. Oh, it's not even there. Can I turn on the light? Well, it's not even going to let me turn on the light, you bastard. So we'll boot it. I'll nail down the IP. hopefully without giving everybody vertigo. Somebody needs to keep account of the number of times I've said that. This will not be going into service tonight, though, because I don't have enough power cords. In fact, what I'm using to power this box is the last one I have. So, I gotta go and deal with that. Of course, I know where I can get some, but I have to get out. I have to actually go over there. And I was going to do that this weekend. Maybe I still will. I'll have to have a discussion about that. Man, that boots up so quickly. No link. Now it's up. What's the address this time? Probably something entirely new. 142. Yeah, let's nail that down. So what addresses haven't I used? I don't even know. I'm going to give it the address of 10. Hopefully that won't conflict with anything. Configure. Network interfaces. No DHCP. 10. 24. Good enough. Yes. Typing with one hand is great. DNS. Do I want to? No. So now, it should have that address. Provided there isn't anything on my network with that address already, and it looks like there is not. So I can then go back over here, put this down, so now you will not be getting vertigo, and go to 10, up here. I need to get rid of this keyboard, something that actually works. Yeah, see? Look at that. It repeats keystrokes. And I can't even see it because this damn phone's in the way. Now we're in. Do not save password. You can see already we've got some changes in the user interface. So, let's see. What do I need to do? Interface, hosts, all that should be fine. Management, disk management. So, hard drive management. Add disk. ADA0, description, storage. Transfer mode, automatic, hard drive standby time. We'll set it to 300 minutes. Power management, intermediate. Acoustic level, nobody really cares about that. Activate smart, shouldn't need any other information. Pre-formatted file system. I believe it's formatted for UFS, GPT, and soft updates. I guess we'll find out. Well, it says it's online. Cool! So, it is actually working. Let's go to smart. Power mode, yeah, we'll pull it no matter what. Enable smart monitoring of smart capable devices when they're added. But I can't, can I check that box? I can't check that box. Now everything else should be okay. So, whoops. I don't know if I wanted to do that. So that's all pre-formatted and everything. That's fine. iSCSI, I'm not even going to do anything with that. I'm not going to do anything with software RAID. Not going to encrypt anything. We'll set up our mount point. So we will add, type as a disk. We want ADA0, it's GPT, partition number 1, whatever. It's probably going to fail. UFS, mount point name, backups, description, storage for backups. Mount the file system read-only. Nope. Enable file system check. Owner root wheel. Okay. Now we'll leave it alone. I'll just leave all the permissions alone. No one's gonna ever screw around with it, eh? Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave it alone for now. Cannot get UFS ID. Okay, well, is it partition number 3? I don't remember. No, it's obviously not. Maybe it's partition 4? Yeah, it's partition 4. Okay. Raspberry Pis. I don't know who that question is directed at, but if it's directed at me, I don't own one, so I haven't done that. Not personally. There are a couple at work. Yeah, it says it's okay now. I think that's probably it. I don't know if I'll ever get one, because I don't have a real use for one. Anything that I would ever want to do, I could use some old crap that's lying around, and I can get that to do it. And hey, it keeps stuff from building up on the floor. You know, if it's going to sit on the floor, it might as well do something. Tools! Mount point. Whatever. All that should be okay. Theoretically, what I can do now... Oh, no, I can't. Because what I have to do is I have to set up my services. CIFS. So we'll enable server message block. All of that should be fine. NetBIOS name should be NAS3. Work group, all interfaces, description, backup server. Everything else should be okay. I'll do a normal log level. Everything there should be fine. Well, it's not a time server, so no, we'll disable that. Guest account FTP, map to guest. No, no map to guest. Enable extended attribute support. No. Enable stored DOS, mapping DOS. Asynchronous I/O. I think, let's see. Enable, to increase performance, enable asynchronous I/O, large read write. Is large on? Yeah, large is on. We'll enable asynchronous I/O. Those should be fine. You shouldn't need any more additional parameters. It says enable the tuning switch, but I have no frickin' clue what that means. Okay, save and restart. Is that going to reboot the whole thing, or is that just going to reboot this? Alright, shares. Add a share. Backups. Comment. Backups. Can you notice a theme here? Path. Excuse me. Mount backups. Okay. It's not read-only. It's browsable. Do not enable guest access. Inherit permissions, whatever. Enable recycle bin, whatever. Shadow copy, whatever. I don't need any ZFS stuff. Everything there should be fine. So now, what I should be able to do... It's 9:42. Crap. It's almost time for Chris to come live. To go live. Alright, so now what I should be able to theoretically do, open up a window here, and we'll browse to it. Does it work? Probably should have created an account. Yeah, it probably won't work. Just had a thought. Oh, it just displayed something. I don't know what it was. Yeah, I need to create an account. Access users and groups. So we will add, enter login name. Sure. Password. Let's just enter in some garbage. User ID 1000. Primary group will put us in the wheel group. No additional groups. Home directory, leave it alone. Grant access to user portal, no, leave it alone. Add a group, add a user, don't save passwords. Apply changes. And what happens? Here we go. So now we got a user. Well, maybe what I could do is change that to something else. 4 people watching. Who's here? Well, I'm here in 2 places, but it's telling me that I'm not watching it. Whatever. Piece of crap. Yeah, so digitally clean, it was a piece of crap. Okay, so now when I go into this box, or try to go here, what happens? Is SMB, it's probably not configured right. Gotta wait for it. Cannot access. Unspecified error. What if I do that? It's there. Why? Why? Doesn't make any sense. If I go in here, NAS3, oops. What's that gonna do? Oh, wow, that was bad. NAS3. What was the password? Again, something completely trivial. There we go. So now I can go in here and create something. Test. This is a test. I hope it actually works. La 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 la. So we'll just fill it up with a whole bunch of crap that isn't really going to make any difference. Here we go. Solve the problem. There. So now it's a large text file. It's like 7 kilobytes. So now if I go back over here and I go to my file manager, it's going to want me to log in. Can I actually do this? I wonder. Will it let me? Oh, it will. Cool. Alright. Backups. We have a test.txt file. If we open it, it just downloaded it. Okay. Open file. There it is. So it does actually work. So let's dump it from here right now. Let's take this file, select it. Where's the delete button? Where's the delete button? Should be a delete button. I don't know what any of these buttons do. Let's log out. Delete. But I can't select it. Why can't I... Edit. I can't select it. You suck. So I can't do that from there, I guess. I gotta go back over to this, and I gotta delete it like this. Oh well. So, there's that, I guess. 103 minutes. Yeah. I think I'm gonna stop this soon. So if there's anything you wanted to ask me, definitely do it now. Because otherwise, well, that's it. I think that was pretty successful. We managed to get a NAS working by the end of the day. Unfortunately, it was not using the operating system I wanted. But that's cool. This is one that I will use. And I'll experiment more later with NAS for free. OpenMediaVault. And see if I can get that to work somewhere. But for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut her down. Maybe you'll hear it in the background. We'll go ahead and shut her down. And that is all. Done and done. So, now what? Well, Chrismaster1 says that he is getting ready. And I still have 14 minutes. Oh, do that. Wow. Lag. He doesn't want to look at me. That's okay. I don't know why anybody would want to look at me. So, now I'll put all his junk away. And we'll wrap it up. So, that was successful. Expect probably not the same thing next week. I think what I'm going to do next week, I have another box, a 486 that needs a sound card. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a sound card, and I'm going to do that live. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to record a video while doing it live, or if I'm just going to do it live like this, because I haven't been recording this otherwise. And frankly, there'll be a thing going up anyways. So, you're going to see it. Well, if people don't want to watch it live, they could see it later, if they happen to want to watch it. But, so that, I think, is what we're going to do. I'm going to install a sound card in that thing. It's an EISA machine, so it's not the easiest to install stuff in. You need to have configuration files. You need to have the driver. I haven't been able to find the driver, which is what I've been looking for. But I think I did actually find the one that'll work. So that should be good. But for now, I should call that good. I should probably have this chocolate bar. I should put it somewhere else. I went to the bank. Day was it? It was Valentine's Day. And there was a lineup. And they gave us all candy. So, hey, you know, Valentine's Day. I'm appreciative of that. I will accept your free candy. As long as I don't have to go to a white van to get it, I will accept your free candy. Speaking of free candy, here's some more of it. Yeah, it's strong. It's blue raspberry, and they're sour. Very strong. So now I gotta unplug all this stuff. Oh yeah, here's the power supply for that Shark camera. So if you wanted to see that, now you got to see it. I hope everybody did get a chance to actually see the camera. I think most people that are watching this live did, and the people that are not watching this live can watch the whole video, so if they want to. I mean, if they don't want to watch the whole video, that's their own loss. So, I mean, I personally wouldn't want to watch a 107-minute long video. Well, that's not true, you know? I have watched several 2-hour-long videos. And hell, I used to watch podcasts on YouTube, which are a lot longer than 107 minutes. So, maybe my saying that is not really accurate. Here's the battery. Yeah, this thing. Check out the brand name on this thing. Have you ever heard of that before? Solidex? It's also the brand of the bag the camera came in. Never heard of that before. It's actually a really damn good battery, though, because it still works. I've been able to record 2 videos on this thing. Like, one was 6 minutes long, and the other one was 7 minutes. I know I can get at least 7 minutes out of the battery, which is not bad for an old battery like that. Especially a NiCad battery. Those don't last very long. You know, it's the NiCad ones, as far as I remember, are the ones that develop memory. So if you don't charge them fully, you're never going to be able to get the full charge out of it ever again. It'll develop a memory. Maybe that was nickel metal hydride. Oh, 6 hours. Yeah, whatever. I'm not... Maybe I'll have to torture test it at some point. I haven't torture tested it. I've just recorded videos. Because I'm not really interested in doing those kinds of videos. You know, where I just flat out just point the camera at nothing and record. I don't like those. And I don't like general update videos either, because it feels like, at least to me, there's no meat and potatoes to the video itself. There's no substance. There's nothing that I can do. I mean, I guess with an update video there is, but there's no point. There's no ultimate end goal. It's just me talking about stuff just so I can hear my lips flap. That's all. And I don't think that's interesting. What time is it? 9:53. So, what are we going to do? What can I do in that short period of time? I see the discussion has gone to batteries. NiCad does develop memory. Cool, so I got it right. I wish I knew where it was. I had another, here's a non-generic battery. Panasonic. I don't think this battery is any good, but it's been a while since I've used it. It's a sorta, kinda extended battery, but not really. I mean, normally the batteries are about, like, up to there or so. They're really small. I wonder if I've got one lying around somewhere that I could show. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know where all of those went. Oh, here's one. A universal battery, but it's the same deal. Excuse me. Wow, choking on air. Great, brilliant. Optics. This is how big the batteries usually are. This is a regular battery. This is the other one. So you can see there's like the comparison there. I've got bigger batteries than this, though. But this, I don't know if this is actually any good. I think it only gives me like 5 minutes or something ridiculous like that. It's not really worth it. You know, especially with, you know, camcorders. If I've got 30 minutes on a tape, I want to use 30 minutes on a tape. So there's that battery. And then the other battery I think I got that works is right here. There you go. There is an extended battery. I think it works. Dusty. I haven't used it in a while, so it probably doesn't anymore. But what is this? Does it tell me what kind of battery it is? Nickel cadmium. I should probably charge it. Yeah, would be a good idea. 111 minutes. Okay. I don't have an email up. So I won't even know when Chris goes live. What is this one? 1.8 amp hours. I think that's only like 1800 milliamp hours. That's not really all that good, but you got to remember how old these are. This is for like a VHS-C camera from like the 1990s. So I've got another battery. This is for a Sony. It even has a case. Check it out. What's this one? Another NiCad. Again, it's 1.8 amp hours. So that's an extended battery. So there you go. I guess that's really it. I don't have much else that I can tell you. So if there's anything else that I need to talk about, which I don't think there is, it's still telling me there's only 3 people in the chat room, but I don't know how true that is. They're the only people that are chatting, unless all of the other messages have gotten removed or buried underneath the chat about batteries. I think that's it. I don't have much else to tell you, so I'm not going to waste your time anymore. You can go off to Chris Master One's channel, which I will bring up here in just a few. So, and we'll see if it's actually live. Are we going to focus? There we go. Looks like, oh, Chris just started. Cool. So we'll bring it up. I'm not signed in, am I? Or am I signed in? I think I am signed in. Yes, I am signed in. So now everybody knows that that's me. Crap. Oh, well, he just started. So, okay, go watch that, and I'm out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next week. And until then, happy trails. Or something. Hopefully happy trails. Really suck if none of you managed to get back here again.